So, Lev, good to see you today.
Thank you for having me, Jay.
Lev, you just spent 8 hours testifying in front of Congress regarding the Biden impeachment. Could you recap that for us?
The American people have been lied to by Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and various cohorts of individuals in government and media positions. From November 2018 to October 2019, I was a key participant and a witness to numerous efforts to prove that Joe and Hunter Biden were linked to corruption in Ukraine. I found precisely zero evidence of the Biden's corruption in Ukraine. The only information ever pushed on the Bidens in Ukraine has come from one source, and one source only: Russia and Russian agents. Everything was for the ultimate benefit of Donald Trump and thereby Vladimir Putin.
I mean, it was something that I couldn't imagine. I thought it was going to be something, a court to get the truth out, but it turned into a kangaroo court. I spent 8 hours there, and not one Republican asked me one question, nothing pertaining to Ukraine, the impeachment, Joe Biden, nothing.
Lev, you've given some very powerful testimony that everything that's come out about Burisma and the Bidens and corruption is in fact coming from either Russians or Russian agents. Do you have evidence to back up those claims?
Oh, absolutely. Jay, that was the reason why I came to testify. What people don't want to say is I came to testify under oath. I put myself at risk that if I lie about something, I could look at prison time for lying. So I gave the opportunity to all of these congressmen to ask me, put my feet to the fire and ask me to bring the proof and show them the proof of all of the strong allegations that I'm making. But the interesting part that the public doesn't understand is the reason they didn't ask me the question is because they already have the proof. I've already given them the proof. They know what the proof is, and that's why they don't want to ask the questions. They don't want to put light to the evidence because all this is a sham impeachment used for political ploy just to get Donald Trump reelected into office. And we know who that serves the best: Vladimir Putin.
Lev, a lot of people do wonder, though. You were so close to the Trump administration, and you're coming out with these very strong claims now. What's your motivation? Perhaps, they've asked, are you being paid by the Democrats, or are you being paid by business interests associated with Democrats? What's the deal?
I've never been paid by anybody. I haven't made a dollar since I've got arrested. Thanks the Lord to my family of the support that they've been able to help me to get through this part. But the reason, what a lot of people also don't understand is I didn't just come out now. I came out in 2019 after my arrest and after I saw what was going on, after I had time to get out of that cult of Trump and be able to reflect and really get my bearings straight. I made it a mission of mine to do right, to make up for all the wrongs I did, all the wrong I did to the Ukrainian people, to the American people by following this tyrant, Donald Trump. And my mission in life is to get the truth out, so people really understand how important these elections are, not just for America, but for the whole world, especially Ukraine, because Vladimir Putin is putting everything on Donald Trump.
So if there is one thing that you wish the American people or the Ukrainian people knew about all of your adventures in Kyiv with Giuliani and company, what is the most important takeaway? What should they know about this entire episode?
It's crazy. There's a lot of takeaways, but for me, probably one of the most biggest takeaways I would say is having seen Vladimir Zelensky coming into office at a time where we didn't give him any credit. We thought he's a comedian, not a political guy. He would be easy to roll over. He'd be somebody that would just play ball, understand what we wanted, and want to be in Trump's good graces. And then watching him stand strong to the pressure that Trump and Trump's administration, I mean, from people like Rick Perry, Vice President Pence, myself, Rudy Giuliani, the pressure and withholding aid, actually withholding. I mean, it's one thing I just gave the message, but actually withholding aid at a time code to stand strong to this tyrant, not to give in and make that announcement. Because if he did make that announcement, I think there would be no Ukraine right now. Because if Donald Trump would have gotten into office, he would have just handed it over to Ukraine. To Russia, excuse me. Because Donald Trump hates Ukraine with affinity. He hates Zelensky with affinity. Just trust me because I know. I spoke to him. I sat there. I heard him.
What sort of things did Donald Trump say about Ukraine, or what did his circle say about Ukraine that alarms you so much?
They first of all, Donald Trump and his circle, the mega cult, consider Ukraine the fault of Russiagate. They considered from day one that it was not Russia that got involved in the elections, that it was Ukrainians that fought with the Democrats, that took the servers, that they set up Paul Manafort, that there was a second black ledger, that was false. And that the biggest thing that they're pissed about is that they didn't announce an investigation into Joe Biden. Trump and his mega cult and now we have people in Congress that are actually supporting Vladimir Putin. I mean, this is how outrageous it is. All for the purpose of Donald Trump because of his anger towards Zelensky and the Ukrainian people because they didn't give him what he wanted. An announcement into Joe Biden, not an investigation, not an actual truth to find criminality, but an announcement so he could win his 2020 election and stay in power. Because he idolized Vladimir Putin. Look at Putin, 25 years. Trump wants to do the same thing. And he says it to people. People just don't listen.
You have a new book that came out recently, Shadow Diplomacy. Can you tell us a few words about it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I was trying to get the truth out, but there was a lot of high-powered individuals that were trying to silence the truth and hide the truth, from the State Department to the DOJ, Bill Barr, Special Prosecutor Brady, you name it. And at one point, I already gave up and thought that, I won't be able to come out and get the whole truth out. So the only way I would be able to do it is by writing the book, because even they tried to silence that, but they couldn't. With the help of good lawyers, we were able to get it all out, and I don't hold back. I talk about everything, about all the people that were complicit in Ukraine, all the people that were complicit in Russia, all the people that were complicit in Europe, all the people that were complicit in America that caused this great catastrophe that we're seeing today, with the result of a war going on and millions of people are suffering that they shouldn't.
Lev, that's fascinating. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Jay, for having me.